I believed his I love yous as if they were sacred incantations, a steady refrain that promised a lifetime of passion, trust, and unwavering devotion. Each tender whisper, each soft caress, filled my heart with hope and painted our future in brilliant hues of forever. But one unsuspecting afternoon, when I was sifting through his digital archives to organize our shared memories, a hidden video message began to play. In that moment, as his familiar voice dissolved into words laced with intimate longing for someone else, every I love you I'd ever believed shattered like fragile glass. My heart pounded, and I knew nothing would ever be the same again. I still remember the time we first met, an unexpected encounter on a rainy day at a cramped coffee shop where the scent of roasted beans mingled with the promise of new beginnings. He was sitting alone, a book in hand and a gentle smile playing on his lips, and when our eyes met, I felt a connection that transcended the mundane. Our conversation flowed easily over cups of steaming coffee and the soft hum of the rain outside. He spoke passionately about his dreams and his plans for the future, and I hung on every word, believing that his every I love you was a vow meant only for me. In those early days, our love felt invincible, as if nothing could ever disrupt the delicate tapestry we wove together from shared moments and whispered promises. Over time, our relationship deepened into a comfortable routine, a life filled with quiet mornings spent in each other's arms, lazy afternoons walking hand in hand through familiar streets, and evenings that sparkled with laughter and the promise of endless tomorrows. We built a home together, decorating each room with mementos of our adventures and framing every cherished memory with pride. He had a way of making me feel like the center of his universe. Every I love you was delivered with a sincerity that made me believe in a future where nothing could ever come between us. I trusted him implicitly, and every promise he made was a foundation stone for the life we envisioned. A life where our love was eternal. Yet, as the years passed, subtle hints began to creep into the periphery of our perfect picture. There were moments when I caught him lost in thought, his eyes flickering to his phone with an intensity that he quickly masked with a smile. He sometimes received calls in hushed tones, and on several occasions he excused himself to take urgent work calls late into the night. I told myself it was merely the demands of a busy career, a temporary distraction in an otherwise devoted relationship. I tried to dismiss the fleeting doubts, clinging to the belief that our love was unbreakable. After all, every I love you he uttered had once felt so deeply reassuring. I was determined to believe that our future was built on nothing but trust and truth. One evening, as I was tidying up our shared study to create space for a new photo album, I discovered an unfamiliar folder on his laptop. Curiosity mingled with trepidation as I clicked it open, revealing a series of video files with cryptic names and dates that I didn't recall. My hands began to tremble, but my heart urged me to watch. Perhaps it was a forgotten project, a silly video he had recorded. I selected one file and pressed play. The screen flickered to life, and there he was, not with me but with another woman. His voice was warm and tender, the background filled with soft music and the ambience of a dimly lit room that exuded intimacy. He was saying things that I had never heard him say to me, words of desire, promises of secret rendezvous, declarations of love that were meant for someone else. I sat frozen, my mind struggling to process the onslaught of betrayal. The video played on, each second an eternity that etched the truth into my soul. I watched as he laughed and whispered endearments to this mystery woman, their chemistry palpable and their intimacy undeniable. The familiar I love yous that had once wrapped me in a cocoon of security now felt like a cruel mirage, promises made in the dark, now exposed by the harsh light of his hidden reality. My heart ached with a pain so deep that it felt as though every beat was a painful reminder of the trust that had been so carelessly shattered. In the days that followed, I grappled with an avalanche of emotions. I found myself rewatching the video repeatedly, unable to escape its haunting images. Every I love you he had once spoken in my ear now resounded as a hollow echo against the backdrop of his secret life. I questioned every shared moment, every tender embrace, wondering if I had been blind to the subtle signs that had pointed to this deception. I felt a profound sense of loss, not only for the love I believed in but for the future that now lay in ruins. The pain was relentless, a gnawing void that seemed to swallow my very essence, leaving me adrift in a sea of heartbreak and despair. I began to meticulously document every detail of the discovery. I created a digital folder on my computer labeled Truth and saved a copy of the video along with timestamps and notes about what I observed. The room's ambience, the woman's attire, even the soft background music that now haunted my thoughts. I combed through old messages, searching for any hint that might have led me to suspect this double life, but the evidence was all too clear. my fiancée had built a secret world of intimacy, one that was completely hidden from the love we had nurtured together. I wrestled with the urge to confront him immediately, to demand an explanation in a burst of raw emotion. But I knew that such a confrontation, fueled by heartbreak and anger, might lead to denial or further manipulation. Instead, I sought refuge in the quiet solitude of my own thoughts. I spent long nights alone, the darkness punctuated only by the soft hum of the city outside my window, as I tried to piece together the life that I had believed in and the reality that now lay before me. I questioned my own judgment, wondering if I had been too trusting, too eager to believe in the promises of I love yous that now seemed like empty echoes. The betrayal cut deeper than I ever imagined possible, and I was forced to confront the harsh truth that the future we had planned was nothing more than a carefully constructed illusion, a dream built on lies. As the days turned into weeks, I began to notice more subtle signs that corroborated the painful discovery. I observed his behavior with a new, cautious eye. His frequent absences, the way he would lock his phone when I was nearby, the secretive glances he exchanged with someone when he thought I wasn't looking. Every small detail, every forgotten moment, piled together like shards of broken trust, forming a picture that was as clear as it was devastating. I felt betrayed not only by his actions but by the very fabric of the relationship I had once believed was unbreakable. Amid this storm of emotions, I reached out to my closest friend, someone who had always been my rock. Over long, tearful conversations in quiet cafes and late-night phone calls, I recounted every detail of the discovery, the hidden video message, the intimate whispers captured on screen, the secrets that now defined his double life. "You deserve the truth," she said, her voice a soothing balm amid the chaos. "You deserve a love that is genuine, where every word means what it promises." Her words, laced with empathy and quiet strength, bolstered my resolve. They reminded me that I was not alone, that I had the right to a future built on honesty and respect. Empowered by her support, I resolved to confront him with the undeniable evidence I had gathered. I spent days preparing for the conversation, rehearsing my words until my voice, though trembling with emotion, became a steady declaration of my own worth. I told myself that I deserved an explanation, that I owed it to myself to confront the betrayal head-on, no matter how painful it might be. "I trusted every word you said," I repeated to my reflection in the mirror, and now I see that those words were nothing more than empty promises. Each repetition was a promise to myself, a promise that I would reclaim my future, that I would no longer be defined by the deceit that had shattered our shared dreams. The day of the confrontation arrived on a cool, overcast afternoon. Our home, which had once been a sanctuary of shared love and joy, now felt heavy with unspoken sorrow. I sat in the living room with the folder of evidence clutched tightly in my hands, every second stretching out as my heart pounded in my chest. When he finally returned home, his face wore the mask of normalcy, yet I could see a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, a silent acknowledgement of a secret he had tried so desperately to hide. "Can we talk?" I said quietly, my voice steady yet filled with the weight of every broken promise. He paused at the doorway, his eyes meeting mine for a fleeting moment before he nodded and followed me into the living room. I placed the folder on the coffee table and took a deep breath. "I trusted every I love you you ever said," I began, my voice cracking with raw emotion, believing that our future was built on honesty and unwavering devotion. But this video message, these hidden secrets, reveal a truth I can no longer ignore. How could you lie to me? How could you build a secret life behind my back? For what felt like an eternity, the room was engulfed in silence. I watched him as he struggled for words, his eyes darting nervously between the evidence and mine. Finally, his voice broke, a soft, trembling murmur of regret and confusion. "It wasn't supposed to hurt you," he pleaded, his words weak and desperate. "I thought I could keep it separate, that it was just something that didn't matter." But I could see the lie in his eyes, the betrayal that had been etched into every frame of that hidden video. Every "I love you" he had once said, every promise of a shared future, now felt like a cruel deception. I continued, my voice rising with a mixture of anguish and determination. "You swore you loved me, that we were building a life together, and yet you chose to hide another romantic adventure from me. How can I ever trust you again when your true self is concealed behind secrets?" His silence was deafening, a wordless confession of the betrayal that had torn through the fabric of our love. The pain was so intense that I felt my knees weaken, yet I stood firm, determined not to let this moment define me or my future. In the days that followed the confrontation, I withdrew into a solitary world of reflection and sorrow. I wandered through the quiet halls of our home, each room echoing with memories that now felt tainted by deceit. I spent sleepless nights rewatching the hidden video, every playback a reminder of the betrayal that had shattered my trust. I questioned every shared moment, the soft kisses, the whispered dreams, the I love yous, and each one cut deep, leaving me with a profound sense of loss and a determination to reclaim my identity. I reached out to my therapist, whose calm, understanding presence helped me navigate the labyrinth of emotions that now defined my days. In our sessions, I learned to accept that while the scars of betrayal might never fully vanish, they could serve as symbols of the strength I had discovered within myself, a testament to the resilience that had carried me through the darkest hours. I wrote tirelessly in my journal, each word a cathartic release of the pain, each sentence a step toward rebuilding the shattered pieces of my heart. Through that process, I began to understand that my worth was not defined by the lies of a deceitful partner, but by the unyielding strength I found in my ability to rise above the betrayal. Publicly, the unraveling of our once beautiful future became a quiet undercurrent among our circle of friends and family. Whispers of sympathy, supportive glances, and kind words from those who had witnessed our love now reassured me that I was not alone in my struggle. I started sharing fragments of my journey on a personal blog, writing with raw honesty about the heartbreak, the confrontation, and the slow, painful process of healing. The responses were overwhelming. Messages of encouragement, shared stories of betrayal and recovery, and reminders that true love is built on trust and transparency. These words, filled with compassion and solidarity, helped me piece together a new narrative, a future defined not by the shadows of his hidden adventures, but by the bright promise of a life built on truth. As the months turned into a year, I began to rediscover who I was before the betrayal, a woman with dreams, passions, and an unyielding capacity for love. I ventured back into the world of dating with a guarded heart and cautious optimism, each new connection approached with the hard-earned lessons of my past. Every sincere smile, every honest conversation, helped mend the shattered pieces of my heart, slowly weaving together a tapestry of hope and resilience. I learned that true love must be nurtured with openness, that every promise should be honored with integrity, and that I was worthy of a partner who would cherish my trust above all else. Each new day became a quiet affirmation that I was more than the sum of his lies, that I was a survivor capable of building a future defined by honesty and self-respect. Now, as I sit in the gentle glow of my modest apartment, a space I have carefully transformed into my sanctuary of healing, I reflect on the long, winding journey that has led me from the depths of betrayal to a place of quiet empowerment. The memory of that hidden video message, the intimate confessions of his other romantic adventure, remains etched in my heart as a painful reminder of how fragile trust can be. And yet, it is also a testament to the strength I discovered within myself, a strength that allowed me to confront the truth, to gather every piece of evidence, and to reclaim my life from the ruins of deception. Every sunrise now is a promise of new beginnings, a chance to rewrite my story and to shape a future where my destiny is mine to create. I have learned that betrayal, as devastating as it may be, can also serve as a catalyst for transformation, a painful, powerful invitation to rediscover who we truly are beneath the layers of broken promises. I now move forward with an unshakable conviction that I deserve a love that is honest, transparent, and built on mutual respect. A future where every I love you is a promise kept, and every dream is nurtured in the light of truth. This is my story, a journey of shattered promises, deep heartbreak, and ultimately the triumphant reclamation of my life. I trusted him with every tender word he spoke, believing that our future was built on the unwavering foundation of love and honesty. But when I discovered that hidden video message, a digital confession that exposed his other romantic adventure, I was forced to confront a truth that shattered my illusions and broke my heart. In that devastating moment, I found the strength to gather every piece of evidence, to face the pain head-on, and to reclaim my future from the ruins of deceit. Every tear, every sleepless night, every agonizing moment has led me to this point, a place of quiet strength and unyielding determination, where I now stand as a survivor, ready to build a life defined by truth, self-respect, and the unwavering promise that I am worthy of a love that is real. Every new day is an opportunity to begin again, a chance to embrace the lessons of the past and to shape a future that reflects my true worth. I step forward into each sunrise with hope in my heart and a resolve that no betrayal, no matter how deep, can ever extinguish the light of my spirit. I am the author of my own destiny, and I choose to live a life filled with genuine love, unwavering honesty, and the knowledge that I deserve nothing less than a future built on the unbreakable promise of truth.